this is our third try. We might have to just call it quits and start again on Monday. It doesn't seem like Facebook wants me to be live today. They might have done some updates on the app and it keeps just bumping me out and crashing. So I'm not sure what we're gonna do. If it crashes again, I'm probably just gonna start it back up on Monday. And we'll maybe start from the beginning, because now the beginning is lost. So you can't really watch the replay because it makes you save it at the end and share it, and it hasn't done that. So, all right, well, let's quickly, I don't know, we'll see if this even works. Hi, Andy, and hopefully it does. So I'm just going to top stitch around this piece that we've got here. It's 32 by 10 inches now. We cut it to 32 by 10 and a half, and we're gonna, is it still there? Okay, well that's good, because I didn't share it. It usually makes me share it, so it might have saved it. We'll see, hopefully. So I'm just gonna top stitch, and when I top stitch, I just try and get as close to the edge as possible. The interfacing I'm using it's Heat and Bond fusible interfacing. It's Craft Extra Firm. I know, Greta. Hopefully it stays on my on the page, and if it did stay, I will download that video and download this video and put them together, and then I'll put them on YouTube so that you guys can watch it all together. Okay, so if it saved it, which it sounds like hopefully it did, then I'm going to put them together and I'll throw them on YouTube so you guys can find the whole thing. But for now, we'll try and get through this. If it drops out, I'm not going to come back on, because obviously something's wonky, and hopefully they fixed the bug over the weekend. It might have updated. My phone automatically updates, so it might have updated the app, and then the app is crashy and wonky. So, but if this works, I'll put them together, and we'll put them on YouTube, and you guys can find it. Okay? So I'm just going to top stitch around this whole thing. Good morning, Gina. Okay. Isn't it wonderful? I love sewing. It's my favorite. Okay, so we've top stitched around this one. Now I'm going to sew around about 3/4 of this first one, and I'm going to leave some on this side open. crossbody bag. We lost the first, we were live on another video and it dropped out on us. So the first half is on that video, unfortunately. Okay, and I'm going to do the same on this other one. I've got another one that's exactly the same. Now, I'm just going to straighten this up a little bit, this one. When you don't pin, sometimes it gets a little crooked. Okay, then I'm just going to trim the corners on these just a little bit. Okay, and on this one. And this. Okay, and then we're going to turn these out. I'm using this, it's Heat and Bond fusible interfacing. It's firm, extra firm craft is the type. Okay, let's just turn this out carefully. Oh my goodness, that's a lot of bags. 40 bags. That's awesome. I love donating the stuff I make to raffles and auctions and stuff. Okay. I do love this fabric too. It's really fun. Okay. Okay, there we go. Just pushing out the corners a bit. All right. Oh, thanks. That's my wallpaper that I created using vinyl. The fabric is canvas. So it's a little sturdier. Ooh, almost punched myself in the face. Okay. Oh, poked through that. Let me fix it. I poked through it. I'll fix it. What? I did fix it, but it's still got a hole. I missed that side. No worries, Brooke. We had some technical difficulties, so the first half of this project is, I think, hopefully saved on my page. This is the second half, and yeah. Okay, so I'm just going to take these back, press them, and press this opening closed, and then we'll top stitch this as well. Okay, like to do it by hand first. Good morning. And then take it to the machine. To the ironing board, I mean. All right. Let's clip it so it stays where we want it. Perfect. When you get it perfect and you don't have a clip in your hand, it's like, oh no, don't move. Okay, so we've got that clipped, that opening clipped. Now I'm gonna take it to the pressing board after we do this one as well. Strands there. Okay. All right. So let's press this in place really quickly. I'm scared to move my phone because that's when it cut out earlier, was when I moved it. So I'm just going to do it like this. So this crossbody bag would be really cute for like a teenager who you might not be sure what to make for them or what to get them. You could let them pick the fabrics even. You could add some fun customization with their name or patches. I think patches are big. I mean, they're big for my elementary school kids anyways in their class. All right, so we've pressed these. I'm just going to top stitch really quick around. So when I'm top stitching on the outside of a project, I like to go as close as I can to the edge, but then you could come back in with a second stitch, like a 1/4 inch away. That kind of gives it a nice look. And I don't mind seeing stitches. I mean, I made it. I'm fine with people knowing that I made it. So I don't mind showing them my stitches. As long as I do straight stitches. If I mess it up, I'm like, I bought it. It came like that. Okay, not really. Okay. So make sure you turn on notifications for in this video, so that way, like, if it bumps out, you'll know when I go live next time. That way, if you're kind of freaky, these dots going by kind of messes with my mind, as they whir by underneath the needle. Okay. So, let's see. I'll just trim this up a little bit. Got some hanging out here. Okay, so then, before we put everything together, we're going to work with these one more time and with our handle. Okay, so I told you I had already made the handle. So here's what I've done. I'll show you how it works. So I made one strip. This strip I cut, it was 10 inches and by 2.5 inches. Then I folded it in, folded it right sides together and sewed down the edge so that then I turned it out and we have this strip. And then I've just sewn it around this D-ring. So I've lost about 2 inches here, so it's about 8 inches now, plus the D-ring, okay? Then, for this one, I don't know if you've done bags before, and this may be, you may not care. You may already know this, but I literally have to look it up every time, so I'll tell you what I did for this. So first we've got these guys, which are just adjustable slide buckles. Slide buckles. So I've got this, right? So that's what we've started with. So you put your fabric through and then sew it on. So then it's sewn over the middle. Then, so this is a really long handle. Now I decided to use one of these buckles that this attaches to the D-ring. So slide that over your strap, okay? Then take the end of your strap and it's going to go over the fabric, over the middle, and down, like so. And then you see now we have an adjustable strap, okay? So that's what we've got. I mean, I literally have to look up how to use these slide things every single time because it just doesn't, my brain doesn't like it. So that's what I've got. That's my handle, my strap, I guess, and it's adjustable so you can tighten it up or loosen it up. All right. So what we're going to do, and I'm trying to decide, I haven't decided if I want to use another D-ring and a little snip of fabric, or if I just want to attach the strap straight to the, so here's our choices. We could either, this was the width of the fabric, so it's like 40, what is that, 44 by, and 2.5, so 2.5 by 44. And I didn't love how I didn't think it was quite long enough, so that's why I've done this one at 8 inches. So when you put the bag on, it will have this like right here in the middle, which is kind of nice because you can take it off right like that. So I put this extra 8 inches so that the strap, now you can see the strap will meet here where I want it. You could make it even longer. This is just kind of a fun, for me, this little thing is just kind of for show, and it makes it look more like you bought it. I'll probably never tighten it up any more than that. I'll probably leave it like this all the time, actually. So the choice is, so you could totally just fold these edges over and attach them onto the inside of this, okay? Or you could, and I totally haven't decided, so that's why we've got some more D-rings. Or we could take the D-rings and sew it onto here, like so, and sew another tab onto here so it connects like that onto the, so you take another, I haven't made another one. I think we're just going to sew it on because I haven't made another one. So this is an option if you want it. I'm not going to do it because now I've decided. So if you want to just attach the strap like this, sew a D-ring onto there, make another tiny, this one would be small, like, I'll show you, like 3 inches, okay? This one would be like 3 inches like this. You'd cut it right like that. Oops. I mean, finish this, right? Like we've done. Turn it out and finish it. And then attach this D-ring here. So if you want to do it with a D-ring on the inside, I mean on the, where it meets the bag, that's how you would do that. It's kind of hard to see because it's kind of bright. So that's what that would look like. I like it without the D-ring too. So that's, I'm going to do it without the D-ring. So I'm just going to attach, I'm just going to fold this under by about 1/4 of an inch because I've got that raw edge still. and then I'm going to sew it. I'm going to sew it, attach it to the back here. I can take this off. So I'm just going to attach it right like that. Let me pin it so then I can show you better without my fingers in the way. So I'm going to attach it just like that, centered into onto this. These are the side pieces that we've created. So we're just going to sew it like that. You can take this apart. That's a nice thing about having the little thing. And but hold on, because I did it backwards, because I don't want this piece hanging out. So hold on, it'll be like that. Yes, a crossbody over the shoulder bag. So this is what it will look like. I'm going to sew that on right there, and I'm going to use like a square, like that, okay? Then we'll take this other edge, and this one is the one that you want to make sure that you've got it the right way. So the bag is going to, the bag will be like this. We want, just make sure your strap is facing the right way. So it's going to face like this. So I'm just going to fold it under. Like this. And I'm going to double check before I sew it on that this is how I indeed want it. And I can just, you can use your clips here too. You don't have to use pins. So like that, that's what that will look like. And then I'm just going to double check that I've got I'm just checking that the handle lies the right way when I've got it sewn like this, and it does. So I'm just going to sew this on using a square, in a square, so that it's nice and attached. Because remember, this is what's going to be holding the weight of the bag. I mean, it's not a huge bag, so you're not going to be able to, well, I wouldn't be able to stuff a bunch of stuff in it. If you give it to a teenager, they'll probably carry around 80 pounds in it, but I don't know that it could hold up to that. Okay, so I'm just gonna, you want this to be sturdy is what I was trying to say. This seam to be sturdy. There we go. Okay. And I'm just gonna, I think I'm gonna do a diagonal, just one diagonal as well, just to really hold it in place. Okay, then we're done with that one. I'm gonna do the same thing on the other side with this one that we've got here. I did put interfacing in the strap as well. Yes, just to give it some strength. The same craft interfacing. Okay, and then I'll do one diagonal. Those rings are loud. Okay. All right, we're almost done. Okay, I'm just going to trim off some of this. And this is going to be the inside of the bag, so it's not the prettiest. I'll show you what it looks like so you can see. So here's, can you see the stitching? I've kind of done, let's see if it'll focus on that. No, not going to focus? I don't know. Eek, don't do that. Stop. There we go. Okay, so you can kind of see I've done a diagonal, not that way. I can't do this backwards, guys. From here to here. like that. So I've done a diagonal to hold it in place and then just a square around. And like I said, it doesn't have to be the prettiest. This is on the inside. So this is what the outside of the bag is going to look like. So we've got that strap like so. Then let me trim up the threads on this one. And get rid of them. And I'm still using that coordinating thread, so you can't even see the thread on the outside of the bag. Okay, so let's put the bag together. First, I want you to go back to our main piece here, and remember we've built in the bottom, this bottom. So I want you to fold it over, and then we're going to attach these. It's going to be kind of, what I've envisioned is kind of, I don't even know what to call it. I want the strap to be, I want this edge to be out a little bit. So the seam is going to go out on this, but we finished it all, so it'll be fine. So let me clip this so you can see how I'm going to do it. We're going to go back to our Y seams, which we worked on, when was it? In September, I guess. We worked on Y seams in September when we did our zipper sewing series. So here's what this is going to look like. So you're going to fold it. So first fold it so that you find this bottom edge, and then line up the bottom edge of this piece with that fold. So this is lined up with the fold, and it's lined up here along the side. Inset. Thank you, Kathy. I could not, it was not coming to me. So, so we're going to line it up like that. So we're going to sew right along here. And then once we've sewn there, we're going to turn this, and we're going to sew along this bottom edge, and then we're going to turn one more time and sew along the side edge. And eventually it'll end up looking something like that. Okay? So I'll start by doing the first side. And I'm definitely going to, hi Patty, I almost said my own name, I almost said hi. I'm going to go back and forth a few times to really hold that in place there. And then I'm going to try and go over this top stitch that I've already got. So not create a new stitch there. And then I'm going to back stitch a little bit on this. When I get to the corner of the top stitch, I'm going to turn, and I'm going to go diagonally off so that we can finish there. We'll trim that up, and I'll show you what it looks like now. So we sewn this one on. It's sewn onto the side here. So this is the inside of our bag. Technically, you could do this and make this the outside. If you wanted it to look like that, you could do it the opposite way so that this was the outside. But I like it inset like this. Now I'm going to go, I'm just turning, and I'm going to line up with that. You've already pressed in your 2 inches here, so you should have a good idea of where this should lie. And I'm just going to clip this in place. Like so. So this is what we're looking at. We're going to sew right here, just along this line. We've already sewn this one in place. So to kind of, if you're looking at your bag, this is how mine will be, this is how I've laid mine out to go into the machine. So I'm going to be sewing right here, so I've got all of this kind of out of the way, right like that. And I'm just going to start it with my machine's not in love with that many layers, but it'll do it. Maybe it'll do it. Where are we? There we go. And again, I'm going to back stitch. I get to that corner, I'm going to turn it and just sew off in a diagonally. And it's stuck. There we go. Like so. I've got pins all over the place. Okay. Let's take this out. Let me trim up my threads here that I've got going on. Okie dokie. Okay, so now we've got these two sides in place, the side and the bottom. And now we're going to do the same. We're just going to turn and sew this one in place. Okay, but before I do that, I'm going to get the other side started so that I'm not having to fight with it as much. We'll just do the last two seams at the same time. So let's start the other side and do the same thing we've just done. So line this up along the bottom and the side. And then I'm just gonna, I'll clip it, I guess, like so. And you can, if you want, you can just pin these out of the way or clip them out of the way. Maybe I'll put them all together here. Bunch them up and pin them. So we had a strip that was 32 by 10, 10 and a half. So really, I mean, I think half of a yard of each is plenty. You might need a little extra with the straps because the straps were the width of the fabric as well. I mean, I think half of a yard of each is probably plenty, but I always get extra just to be sure. So I think I got, I don't like this. Hold on. I think I got 3/4 of a yard of each. So I don't like it because I'm on the wrong side to actually start sewing. I'm going to do this on the other side. Stand by, because if I would have done that, I would have had to start at the bottom there. I'm going to start on this side instead so that I can start at the top. Is that right? Is that going to be right? I'll make sure. Yep, that's fine. Okay. Okay, I'm going to start on this side instead. Still line that up like so. So I've just lined it up here. I'm going to go straight down. Turn and do this, the bottom piece. Same thing that we've done, that we've been doing. My machine is really light. It's really super basic machine. There's no bells or whistles. Which I kind of love. Super easy. Okay, so now here's where we're at. So we've got, if you're gonna do it, sorry, these are really loud when they clunk. So we've got this one is in place. I knew I was gonna, no, that's right. I was like, okay. We've got this one in place on the side here and along the bottom. And so then our next step is gonna be to line it up here along this edge. And then while we're at it, while we're clipping, we've also got this one that we're gonna line up along the edge, and we need to sew this seam in place as well. So I'm just gonna clip it, and you wanna make sure everything lines up. These should line up at the top too. Let me show you. I did not describe that very well. You just want to make sure that, it's hard to show you. Okay, where are we here? you want to make sure that these are even here up at the top. So you have a straight line from here, here, here is all straight, is what I'm trying to explain. So we're just going to sew right there. Yeah, it was in take, that was in take one. I've actually said it a few times in all the takes, I think. I'm using this Heat and Bond Fusible Interfacing Craft Extra Firm. This is Thermoweb. It's pretty light. It's not too heavy. I just wanted a little structure, but nothing crazy. Okay, I'm going to sew these last two in place. And then I have something super fun for the end that I'm excited about. Okay. This other one. Oh, no problem. I sure don't mind repeating myself. I've got 2 kids, so I'm totally used to it. It doesn't even faze me anymore, repeating myself. Yes, Monday, Wednesday, Friday at 10 a.m. This one's been a little long because we had to start and stop and start and stop. Okay, so we've got this in place. And like I said, the seams are on the outside, which is kind of fun. I mean, it's all finished, but it kind of gives us a fun, you can see the lining, which is kind of nice. I'm going to trim up my threads, and then the last step, and I had mentioned, someone asked if this was on the blog, which I will put it up for tomorrow, okay? I'll have all of everything listed for tomorrow, but I wanted to get this other thing up first because we're using it in the bag, and you're going to have to make, well, I guess you could do it afterwards. I just wanted to do it first because I just did. So I've got on the blog today, which was in the original link, which I lost, which is gone, we've made our own fringe here, okay? So you can either hand sew or use your zigzag stitch to attach this. Does anybody know what time it is? I'm like, I don't know if I have time to finish. I'm just going to clip this in place. I have my son's conference that I missed conferences when I was in Germany, so I have to go make it up. I was a bad mom. So I've put the tutorial for this fringe on the blog. It's on there today, and I'll share a link. Oh, perfect. That's not too bad. I will share a link here when I'm done with the video. I will link to the post again, and if you're on my email list, you also got an email this morning with a video, an extra video tutorial. Bailey, settle down. Sorry, my dog's going crazy. With an extra video tutorial for making the fringe because it's fun and I like to give you something a little bit extra if you're on the email list because I appreciate the support. So I'm just taking my fringe and I've pinned it around the edge, the curved edge that we made. That's why we made that edge curved, so that we could put the fringe on. And I think I'm just going to zigzag stitch it on. Got some extra here, so I think I will just sew it and then trim it off at the end. So I've just clipped it, and now I'm going to sew it on. The email list is, if you go to my page, Sew What Alicia, right at the top there on Facebook, it says sign up, and that'll get you to the email list. Or if you go to sewwithalicia.com, right at the top again, there's a pink bar that says sign up for my email club or list or newsletter, something like that, to that effect, I believe is what it says. I'm going to go like this, and I'm just going to zigzag stitch this fringe on because it's oh so fun. I'm excited. I'm kind of obsessing over the fringe right now, you guys. I'm not even sure why. Like, I just had to have it. I had to make it. So I'm just going to use a zigzag stitch, a nice big zigzag stitch. And if I had a cobalt blue thread, I would use it right now, which I don't. I do. I have one. Hold on. I'm going to switch to my cobalt blue because I love it. And I'm also obsessing over cobalt right now. So, stand by. Let me find my cobalt here. It's kind of cobalty. So I will throw up the tutorial for this on the blog tomorrow, but I wanted to do the fringe today, like I said. So, just if you are interested, you can check for that tomorrow. So I'm just switching to a blue detailing. I should have used this blue the whole time because it's my favorite. I'm a little obsessive over the blue right now. Okay, blue it is. So I'm going to use a zigzag stitch, a really wide zigzag stitch, and I'm just going to, I've got this clipped, I'm just going to zigzag and catch the edge of the, embroidery floss. It does need a zippered pocket, but I'm all zippered out. I'm kidding, of course. There's only so much time to do these videos. I don't want to take all day. Okay. And you just have to take your clips off as you go. So I'm just going around the zigzag with a zigzag stitch around the curve. Oops, hold on. There we go. And this is just a slow. I'll probably have to go one more time over this. Kind of let it hang. It's kind of hanging off the edge. But as long as we catch it, we should be fine. It's kind of, come on. There we go. Trying to keep it even on the curve is not the easiest thing. I will put a closer on. I'll show you. I've got one more trick I want to show you. One more thing I want to show you. Not necessarily a trick, just a thing. Okay. So, someone had asked me recently about buttonholes, and she said, how can you do buttonholes, do a tutorial on buttonholes? And I said, use a snap. That's what I do. I don't use buttonholes because it's, they're not fun. I don't enjoy them. Let me, got a wonky. Okay, so here's our fringe. Obsessed. I'm obsessed. Okay, I love it. I love it a lot. So then you could just trim it. You could make them a little shorter if you wanted. Okay, so for a closure, here's my thoughts on a closure. If you want to do a closure, my favorite thing is snaps to use, are snaps. And I almost bought some some fun, like an antiqued one that looked like this, but I didn't. So I'm going to show you what I think is fun. So my machine apparently does buttonholes as well, but I've never actually gotten it to work. It doesn't, I think that one of the pitfalls of a super basic machine is that it doesn't actually do. So I also have this blue button, which I'm kind of obsessed with. It's in my color, like I said, like I told you. Kind of obsessed with the cobalt blue right now. Let's see if I can get this thingy off of here. Go away. Stuck. So what I think I'm gonna do, because I don't really want an adult bag that has like a kitty snap on it, because I've got my cam snaps. So what I was thinking would be fun is to use a cam snap to close it and then put the button over it. So we're not actually using a button, but the button will be here, right? And our snap will be underneath so that it'll snap closed. So that was my thought. I don't know, what do you guys think? I kind of like it without anything. So you could do either. That's just an idea. Or you can actually get the snaps with the tool for the metal, like antiqued snaps, and do it that way. So that's my thought is, and here's from the side, you can see, here's our side, and then here's the inside. I kind of like it without too, so I'm just, there's that option if you want it. You could put a snap and just measure where the snap, when you do the snap, take your, if you were planning to do a snap, if you wanted a closure on it, if you're thinking of a closure, take your snap, let me find the thing just to show you how you would do it. I won't do it, but take your tool here that makes the holes and poke it through all the way, and then mark where it goes through on the back as well. Mark where it goes through on the back. Yes, magnet snaps would work great too. That would also work. I was just thinking of ideas of what I would want to do, and I really like that blue button. I'm going to use it for something else. But I didn't want to buy snaps because I know that I would be fine without a snap on this bag. So if you're going to do it, if you're going to do any kind of snap closure, you're going to want to make sure and measure, and just put it where you want it on the top, and then with it closed how you want it, and then mark where you've put it through with your finger, and then put your snap on the inside so that it lines up. Or the metal closure, just make sure that it lines up underneath, because you want it to make sure that it falls. And you might even do it while you're wearing it so that you can, hold on. What's going on here? I think I might be twisted. I'm gonna have to fix the, oh no, I'm good. You might even do it while you're wearing it so you can see where it falls when it's just naturally falling. Because you don't want to, if you put the snap up, then it would be in a weird place. Anyways, I'm rambling, but that's our bag and our little fringe. If you can find still the first video, I put the link for the blog post to create this little fringe on your own if you want some fringe. I was looking and I couldn't find any fringe that I really liked. So I was like, I'm just gonna make my own fringe. Let's see. So that's why I made my own fringe. Yay! And it's really fun. And I just really love this fabric. So the first part, if you are turning in at the end, we got bumped off of our video. I'm gonna see if I can find it, and if it still exists on Facebook, in Facebook land, I will download it, and I will put these two videos together and put them up on YouTube. So go to YouTube and subscribe, so that you will know when that stuff goes up on YouTube. And I've started, as per your request, some of you, putting our zipper videos on YouTube. So I'm going to also put a YouTube link in the comments of this, so you can subscribe on YouTube if you want to be able to find that stuff. So you got two things: subscribe to my newsletter, which is just on the sign up button on my Facebook page, on Sew with Alicia, right there at the top under like the picture, is the sign up button. That'll take you to my newsletter. You can sign up for that. They got an extra video tutorial for making these today in today's newsletter. So there's always a fun freebie. And then I will put the YouTube link in the comments here so you can sign up for YouTube and get notified when there's new videos. I will definitely do that. This, I don't see why it shouldn't be washable. You might want to, the fringe might get a little funky. I'm not sure, I haven't tried washing the fringe yet. But I think you could wash it. I don't see why not. So do those things. And yeah, I will see you guys on Monday. Suggestions for what you want to make, let me know. We're going to be making, soon we're going to be making some ornaments because I have a fun project that I want you guys to make lots of ornaments and send them to this charity that is near and dear to my heart. So I think on Monday we'll make some ornaments. So get yourself some felt and some fun stuff to go on it. And we'll make ornaments on Monday, and I will see you guys then. Okay? Have a great day. Bye.